Picture this. You're looking at your screen, and there's just a simple line. Maybe a rocket climbing up, and with every second that goes by, a multiplier is growing. 1.5x, 2x, 5x. It could keep going, it could shoot for the moon, or it could all just vanish in the blink of an eye.
And that's the big question, isn't it? Cash out now, or risk the crash? That single choice, with its incredibly high stakes, is at the very heart of one of the fastest-growing things in online entertainment right now.
So let's dive in. Welcome to the world of crash games, a format that is, believe me, taking the digital world by storm.
Now, the beauty here is its simplicity. Forget about complex rules. You just place a bet, watch that multiplier climb, and then you have to decide the exact moment to hit cash out. If you do it before the crash, boom, you win your bet times that multiplier. But if you wait even a fraction of a second too long, it's all gone. So simple, but man, is it intense.
So what is it about this simple concept that makes it so powerful, so psychologically engaging? Why are these games just so compelling? Well, it all comes down to a really fundamental shift in the role of the player.
Just think about a traditional slot machine. You press a button and you just hope for the best, right? You're a passive observer. Crash games completely flip that on its head. Suddenly, you're an active decision maker, constantly making this one critical choice. This gives you this powerful illusion of control, even though that crash point is completely random. And the tension, it isn't stop and start, it just builds and builds and builds.
You know, I heard someone describe it perfectly. They said, it's like riding a roller coaster where you choose when to jump off. And that's the key right there. It's not just a game of chance anymore, it's a game of nerve. The adrenaline rush comes from you being in the driver's seat, deciding just how much risk you're willing to take.
Of course, this explosion in popularity isn't just about the players. From the casino's perspective, these games are a huge strategic win. So let's take a look at why the providers themselves love them so much.
For online casinos, crash games are an absolute home run. The core mechanic is so simple, they're actually pretty easy to develop. You can reskin them with different themes anytime you want: rockets, cars, crypto charts, you name it. But here's the most important part. They are highly social, and they appeal directly to a younger, digitally native audience that grew up with interactive, fast-paced experiences.
And that social element is a massive part of the appeal. Most of these platforms show you exactly what other people are doing in real time. You see player A cashing out early, while player C is holding on for dear life. It turns what would be a solitary bet into this shared competitive experience. Kind of like a digital sport where everyone's strategy is playing out live for all to see.
But with all this speed, all this high adrenaline design, there comes a pretty significant downside. The very same features that make the game so exciting can also make it risky, because they tap into a very powerful impulse.
And this is how that impulse gets triggered. A new round starts almost immediately. The multiplier climbs, the tension builds, you make your choice, and you get instant feedback. You either won or you lost. The entire cycle takes just a few seconds, which makes it dangerously easy to think, okay, just one more round. This time I'll get it right. The good news, though, is that responsible platforms and regulators are starting to take notice of this potential for impulsive behavior. So we're starting to see some safeguards get put in place, like mandatory cooldown periods after a certain number of losses, or setting loss limits to help protect players from that rapid-fire nature of the game. So, when you put this all together, what does it really tell us about where online gaming is headed? Well, one thing's for sure, crash games are way more than just a passing trend.
What crash games really represent is this fascinating collision between tech innovation and human psychology. They're kind of a blueprint for a new type of digital engagement, one that's active, social, and built for a generation that really demands to be in control.
See, the future isn't just about winning bigger jackpots anymore. It's about the experience itself. Players are looking for new ways to feel a thrill, and crash games deliver a very specific kind: the thrill of control, of nerve, of making a huge decision in a split second.
Which brings us right back to that simple, yet pretty profound question we started with. It's the question every single player has to answer, every single round. And it's the reason why that little climbing rocket is a very big deal.